Okay, I think we're officially live.
We are.
We're a few minutes late, but we made
Sorry
it work.
about that, guys.
Listen, people are calling out of the woodwork, calling
They
out of nowhere.
are.
It's blowing up. You better turn that on silent too. She's about to get fined $5. Hello, and happy, is it Thursday? Wednesday?
It
Thursday.
is Thursday today. Happy Thursday.
This is the week where nobody knows what day it is, what date it is, what the hell's going on. It's my favorite week of the year, and I'm here with my favorite person.
Week?
Yeah, it's my favorite week of the year.
Oh, but you're my favorite person.
It's my favorite week of the year, except for my birthday week, which is the beginning of the month. So basically, it's my favorite month of the year.
Well, I was gonna say it's your favorite month.
My birthday month.
Oh, yay!
Wrapping up my birthday month with my favorite amazing lender / bestie / just awesome person, Amber Coleman from Guild Mortgage. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks
Happy
for having
Christmas.
Me.
Happy holidays.
You
and
too.
That was our hug to each other, but also for you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Right?
We are so excited because we're wrapping up 2022. And we're going to walk into 2023 with our heads held high because we've got some really cool predictions for you. We're going to share some economist kind of feedback on what they think is going to happen in the market. We're going to talk to you about what's happening right here in Las Vegas because whatever they're talking about worldwide doesn't always affect what's happening here. So let's talk about the reality of the situation.
And there's always a swing too.
Yeah,
we always seem to have the swing.
Yes. So we're here. We're going to give you a quick update on what the hell's going on in the market, what's happening right now, but what you can expect, more importantly, in 2023. My name is Lacey, Las Vegas Gal. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, YouTube, oh God, there's like 9 places.
Facebook,
look at
all that.
All of them. Thank you for joining us. Please know this is for you. So we are going to do a Q&A at the very end. We try to go pretty punchy and pretty quickly to get through our jargon so we can then talk to you and answer your questions. So if you have questions about literally anything, living in Las Vegas, anything about real estate, you want specifically know about loan programs, anything like that, or you just want to ask us how we got our hair to look this awesome or how
your hair does look fabulous.
Thank you so much. I'm following your lead.
I'm loving the growth right there.
You just let us know. Drop those questions in the comments below. We will answer your questions at the end, and we'll hopefully get through all of them. What do you think?
I think it's good. Let's do it.
All right, girl. So let's recap 2022 very briefly, just so you guys understand. For those of you who are used to joining us, you've probably heard us say this a million times, but let's talk about what the hell happened in 2022.
It was like the biggest roller coaster ride I've seen. I mean,
do you like roller coasters?
I love roller coasters.
You're a thrill seeker, man. This girl
I do love roller coaster rides.
You do like your fear. You like fear. Like you love that.
I know we talked a couple times this year, and I was having kind of fun with it. But then I go through my lows too, where I was like, woo, but for the most part, you know.
I think something happened when I had kids because I stopped liking roller coasters. I stopped doing things.
It just changed your equilibrium.
Yeah, and I also stopped watching scary movies. So I think it's just like that thing where like I'm already scared enough on a daily basis as a mom that I'm a mom first of all, and that I have kids. I don't need additional fear in my life, right?
So 2022 was like a scary movie.
Holy shit, it was horrible.
It was like a horror. It was like a horror.
Yeah.
A horror
so
film.
End of last year, I remember very vividly you and I talking about the fact that we were seeing the market surge in a way we've never seen before. We were watching home prices go crazy, go very, very high. We were seeing a lot of our buyers not be able to qualify for homes anymore because they didn't have a bunch of cash stored in their mattress, right, from Grandma Betty. And they couldn't really compete with all the amazing competition that was driving the prices of our homes up. Limited inventory definitely caused this big issue.
That was the major.
And I think that, what are we calling it? The Great Reset, the Great Move, the Great Relocation.
I call it the Great Reset this year, 2023.
Well,
2022.
Thanks to the pandemic, most people were now allowed to work from home and work wherever they wanted to, right? So a lot of people decided that they didn't want to live in that 800 square foot apartment in California anymore or in New York or whatever, and they wanted to go buy a McMansion in Las Vegas for the same amount of money.
And you could for the same amount of money, yeah.
So we saw the beginning of the year really starting to surge. It was sad in a lot of ways. We had a lot of buyers have to step back and say, I just don't think I can buy yet.
It took a lot of money. You'd have to have a lot of capital in your bank to be able to buy something. And unfortunately, people were just like, I don't have it.
Right.
Especially with prices going up.
Prices were on the rise. You had to have money in the bank to compete. And outbid the other person. And it was really hard because we were having to say to people, don't fall in love with the house, fall in like with it. You can fall in love later, just get a home, right?
Yeah.
We're now in a very different situation.
Isn't it crazy how fast it turned?
It's a pancake.
It did a whole 360.
Is this are you walking into a political year? Is that
this was a political year. 2022 was a political year. 2023 is not. Yeah.
So I just, you know how they always call certain people flip flop, like a pancake breakfast. They do a flip flop breakfast to make fun of the other candidate who they're going against. This was a flip flop year. 2022.
Maybe that makes sense too.
To kiss
2022,
my
right?
Anyway, so early in the year, it was really difficult for buyers. It was absolutely not a buyer's market. It was a seller's market to the nth degree. Our sellers were making money hand over fist. There were people who had purchased their homes not even a year prior, making a 46 to 50% return on some cases.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. Obviously, we saw what happened in the economy, and because of the interest rates climbing, because of the Fed making all the changes they've made, we're now, interest rates are what was selling, right? People were buying buying homes because money was free, basically free to borrow money, right?
And everybody
everybody
and the mama,
lots of homes. The hardest part for me in 2022 was watching so many people think that they were going to time the market and they knew best, and they were going to wait until the height or wait until and they ended up losing out because of it. I always like to tell the story.
They're still trying to time the market.
Well, everybody's always
on
thinking.
A different side
I love the people who don't do this for a living think that they're going to know how to watch the economists and make a decision. I just think it's interesting. We are not economists, okay? We are people who are real life people who work in this real life industry, in this amazing real life neon city, my neon hometown, your neon hometown, and we are in it in the trenches every single day. If anybody's going to be able to time the market and tell you when to strike, we would be the ones to go after that, in my opinion.
That's pressure. But we do our best.
We do our best. And frankly, we've got a great track record, especially since the beginning of the pandemic. So with all that being said, that's 2022. Please drop your questions below. We're going to answer them soon. I see a few of you doing it. Hello. Let's talk about where we are today. We're at the end of 2022. We went from the highest of high to not the lowest of low from a value perspective, but we definitely went from a lowest of the low in terms of like what you can get as far as selling your home, all the deals that you can get, which are like crazy out of the world right now, as far as people paying for things, paying for your closing costs, buying down rates, the higher rates equaling less buyers, so less people on the market, more homes on the market. It's just been a big I don't know, like ratatouille soup. You know what I mean? Like, it's just been crazy. Where are we now when it comes to rates? What are we seeing right now in this moment?
So right now in this moment, okay, just to back up a little bit, okay? Yeah. Everything this year, what the feds are doing, everything this year had to do with inflation, right? So inflation is year over year. So remember, we're comparing inflation right now to December of last year, right? Right. So as we move forward and as the feds made those moves in inflation, we're going to see as it moves down year over year, we're going to see rates get better. Yep. And that's what we've started to see. Like, we went from like 3.5% at the beginning of the year in interest rate to 7.5% at one point. And then it started to slide. Then it started to slide down into the sixes again as we saw inflation numbers. So as inflation numbers come out, then we're looking better. And that's where we are in December. Right. Every time they come out with inflation reports, our interest rates start to get better because everything we're doing has to do with inflation. Absolutely. I mean, like, I didn't realize how directly connected, because it's been 40 years since we lived in a world like this. I was a child. I hate to admit that.
You're not even old enough to say you were a child. She wasn't even born yet.
Okay, we won't say how old I was, but
so we've started to see things get better. So the worst moment in the year was probably when, to your point, the rates got to like 7.5% or something on average. Again, we're not quoting rates.
I think it was October.
It was nuts, right? Nobody wanted to buy a house because you couldn't afford it, right? Your payment just jacked up. You either had to buy way less of a home, or you just weren't buying because you couldn't afford it anymore. The payment was too much, right? Scary, scary times, except for those who were listening to us and who were jumping in feet first saying, you told me that the rates don't matter because sellers are willing to pay those rates down. You're telling me closing costs don't matter because sellers are willing to close those for me and pay those for me. And we were right. So we were even in that
and
worst
just even getting a cheaper house too.
Oh my God. And the prices were coming down. Values aren't crashing like everybody thinks, but prices have definitely been coming down, which has been awesome, right? Yeah. So even in the worst of it, we still were able to find clients deals. We were still negotiating our butts off, and we were closing homes. So now that we're starting to see things come back online and a little bit more even, we want an even market, right? We don't want it to be too much in anybody's favor. We really want it to be a fair shake, because then everyone's winning, right? The economy's winning. We're all healthy. We're all happy, right?
We were too off balance for too long.
At the beginning of the year, buyers were in the gutter. Now at the end of the year, sellers are in the gutter.
And I think 2022, that's what it's been about, is the balance. We're trying to find that balance. It was here,
right?
And then, so we're trying to find the middle ground.
Right.
I've been very impressed with how well the appreciation's gone.
Me too. Year. Listen, everybody's calling it the crash is coming. It isn't here. We are seeing an easing. We are seeing a rebalancing.
We're seeing
but housing
correction.
Values are still very much holding strong. I had a value come in today $10,000 above what the person is buying the house for. So they already have $10,000 in equity right now before they even own the home. That's amazing. That doesn't happen. We didn't think that would be happening. So we're still seeing that balance out. But tell me about rates. Like, what have you been seeing as far as things getting better? Obviously, every day is different. Every day is
different. And what I'm seeing, because I'm watching this closely every day, like every day, it's what's on the news here, what's on the news there, what's on the news here. So anything that talks about inflation. So that's the hot topic. That's going to control our rates in every different direction. So Friday, CPI report came out, which is the inflation report, and the numbers were better than expected. Yay! Because again, we're year over year, so we're obviously going to be better than where we were December of last year or November of last year compared to November of this year, right? Then Monday, there was news that China had pulled
back some of the COVID restrictions,
right? And then there was also a large bill that was passed in Washington. So those are all inflationary things.
And those are all helping, right?
Those are hurting.
They're going the other way. Sorry.
So as the news gets released, but remember, every day is different.
Oh, so I'm sorry. You said this week that the China thing. Yeah. So when they released that, it's made things pop up
because then they're worried about oil, right? Like our oil costs going up because they're using their cars again in China when they weren't before, right? So that's what they're worried about. When Washington passed I don't even know how much it was, trillions or something.
I don't want to know.
Dollar bill, and they know that's coming into our economy, so then that's going to cause inflation.
So we've seen a little bobbing of the egg this month.
Yeah, right? But then as more reports come out and it shows the inflation going down in other ways, like when they release news on how much spending happened over Christmas.
That's going to help the rates
go down. If that was less, then that'll help the rates go down. So it depends every day on what's being released. If it looks inflationary, we're going to see the markets go up. If it doesn't look inflationary, we're going to see the markets go down. And what I'm looking at is that, did we want to go into the future, like what we're looking at for the future?
No, we want to talk about that in a minute. So really still just talking state of the market, right? So what you're seeing right now at the end of 2022, this is going to lead into our 2023 conversation. I promise we're going to get there in a moment, is that we're seeing an easing with daily jumps like it always has been. It's always like that, by the way. It has nothing to do with just it being 2022. It's always like that every day, depending on the news. Rates will jump up and down. But we are seeing it come down from the nastiest part of the year so far.
It's trending down. So it'll go like, just like the whole year it was going like this.
Up.
And then now it's trending like this. But you're going to see bumps when it goes higher, when news is released like China. But tomorrow, that's old news.
And tomorrow, that's old news. And that's not really for you as a buyer, if you're considering moving to Las Vegas, to be concerned with on a day-to-day basis. That's her job. That's our job. Your job is to look at the market as a whole and understand what's trending and what's happening overall, and to see if now's the time when you want to strike, and if the iron's hot enough for you to strike to buy a home. So what we've been saying all year long, what we've been saying since like middle of the year till now, is that now is probably one of the best possible times to be a buyer. And I know it sounds crazy because rates are still higher than 3%. They're not going to be 3% ever again, just FYI, or not for a very long time.
No, we'd have to be in another pandemic.
Yeah, we'd have to have another pandemic, and we don't want that, right?
Yeah.
But what's amazing right now is that there's this beautiful gift of sellers needing to sell, buyers needing to buy, and them coming together in the middle, and buyers getting the best deal they're ever going to get. So if anything, I think right now is the best time to get a deal.
And you know what another gift is? When there's fear out there, just like what I just explained, then that's better for you as a buyer, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's going to scare everybody, and then we have to go with our Warren Buffett quote, right?
100%.
When others are fearful, be greedy. When others are greedy, be fearful.
That's it.
So
let's talk. So when it comes to just the market, just to give you an idea, as far as like houses and how many houses there are to buy and what the prices are and things like that.
Yeah, I've been excited to see
this.
So
we always look backwards, right? I only have November data because December's not finished yet. So as of November, the median price is $430,000 for a single family home. The new listings that are going on the market are being listed at $460,000, which both of those, by the way, are up. They're up. So there's not a huge trend down. They're up, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking at condos, you can still get a condo in Las Vegas for a median price point of $260,000, or a median new listing price point, which always has negotiability, at $267,000. There's about 4.8, almost 5 months worth of inventory on the market, which you want in a healthy market. You want about 6 months worth of inventory for everybody to kind of have an even shake. And we're getting there, thank God. And I will tell you, January of this year, we had less than 1 month available. Less than 1 month available. It was scary. There were like less than 500.
When I saw on the
scary.
Yeah, when I saw on the report, like in the like less than 1,000, I was like, oh, this cannot lead to good stuff.
Not okay. So we've sold in November 1,500 homes sold. at the median price point of 430,000. So just giving you some trending topics that are going out there, some real good factual information that's coming from people who do this job every single day, so that you know that the nationwide news is not going to say what's going on in Las Vegas. We're going to say what's going on in Las Vegas, and that's where we're at.
And Vegas is always run on a different
Vegas,
path than
she always
everybody
done
else
it her
does.
own way. Las
She's
Vegas,
always
she
done.
dances to the beat of her own drum. I don't know who else is like that at all in this world. So let's talk about what are the economists talking about, because we're going to talk about now 2023. I'm going to see if I can do my little banner. Look at my cute little banners. Again, if you're watching us,
so
please
tacky.
Drop your questions. Drop it like it's hot down below. We're going to be answering questions in about 5 minutes. We're going to touch briefly on 2023, and then we're going to jump into your questions. So get those ready. We're hot and heavy. We're ready to go. All right. 2023. Tell me what the economists are saying when it comes to your research and what you're doing.
Okay, so it depends on which economists we're looking at, right? But a lot of them are looking at, 2022 was the year of the Fed raising, right? And
the fear,
yeah, fear, and then the Fed's taking over, like they have been, to try to curb inflation, blah blah blah, all the stuff we talked about, right? And then, but because of what they're doing, 2023 looks like we might head into a recession. I know that's a bad word.
No, a recession, I think,
but that's what everybody's
been in a
about.
recession, to be honest with you. I think we're already in it. Okay. They keep changing the definition of that word. And I just want to be very honest. The old definition, we're definitely already in it. And I don't think it's something to be fearful of. I think we just need to be aware of it and know what that means for us, right?
Yeah.
So economists are all talking recession.
So the joblessness is going to be more of an issue. When you're talking about housing, I mean, we don't want to see anybody lose jobs, of course, right?
Not.
So that's always like, But when you're talking about housing, when recessions happen, the Feds, how we've seen them go up, they have to pull back and go the opposite direction.
That's right.
At that point. So then that means rates go lower. Where I'm hearing economists, like the ones I listen to, where I'm hearing them saying is the first 3 to 6 months of the year, they're expecting rates to hit right in the 5s. Which I think
that's our new 3, right? 5 are the new 3.
5 is the new 3, because if you compare everything to where it was.
That same mindset when it comes to like clothing sizes. Like,
I totally
size 10 is the new 3. Size 10 is the new 4. Oh my God, I'm gonna lean all the way into that later. I ate a bit too much over the holiday. Anyway, I had to get off track, but so really 5% is the new great rate, right? Oh my God, I got 5%. I know it sucks looking at others and comparing ourselves to John, your neighbor down the street, who bought his house for 2.1% and he's paying nothing and he's able to make money on it, and all that's fantastic. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, we got to stop comparing, because
it doesn't
matter.
He was
ready to buy the house.
That was then. This is now.
And there's differences in all kinds of things. So to compare apples to apples is hard to do.
So 5 is the new 3. They're saying, economists are saying, first 3 to 6 months of the year, we're going to see ourselves land and kind of sit in that area.
Yeah. So here's some of the reason why. So when you're looking at mortgage rates, because we've seen this year that house prices have a lot to do with mortgage rates.
Yes,
they have a lot to do with it. When you're looking at mortgage rates, if you want to kind of see the trend of where they're going, then you can watch the 10-year treasury, bond, because the mortgage rates usually follow about 200 basis points, so 2 points above what that 10-year treasury is doing. Right now, they're 300 points above it.
Oh,
why though? I looked at the last 30 years to see why is the trend all of a sudden higher, and the reason is because when we see rates jump as high as they did in 1 year, and we know a recession is on the horizon, or we're already in a recession, at some point those rates are going to go down. So how the servicing departments do, like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're worried about how long they're going to hold those notes for.
Oh, got it.
So because they know they're not going to hold a 7.5% rate for very long before you refinance that rate, they're going to make that spread even higher. So once we start to balance out, once things start to stabilize a little bit with the markets, because we're going to see the bond go down because of recession and stuff like that, then we're going to see things go tighter, and we won't be as high as where we were before. So that's why they think that once we start to drop and we start to stabilize where we're going to be back, then we'll see the rates even get a little bit more tighter. And that's why we're looking at 5% rates, which does stabilize the market. That doesn't, 5% rates don't crash anything.
No.
They don't cause huge spikes upward. It stays stable.
Which stable is what we want.
That's what we want.
So my prediction as well, it kind of ties into that, is, knowing that the economists are predicting, and knowing that our gut tells us based on our expertise, that we're going to see sort of an easing of the roller coaster ride, right? We're coming to the end of the ride, and we're hopefully going to be able to sit there and figure out what's going on before something huge happens again. I really feel like the first 3 to 6 months of the year, or honestly starting now, really starting 2 weeks ago, are going to be the absolute most opportune time to get the best absolute deal you can, because there's going to be homes that are sitting on the market that have been on the market for a little bit too long, or even that come on the market that they got to sell, right? And they're still willing to wheel and deal. They're still willing to buy that rate down. So if you get that beautiful 5.5% rate, you will still be able to hopefully be able to negotiate, if you work with our team and with Amber's team, to get that that seller to buy your rate down to the 3 that you've been wanting, like John Smith down the street anyway, right? So you have the opportunity the first 3 to 6 months of this year to truly take advantage of the fact that it is not the hot buying season, at least not the first part of it. There's a lot of houses that are on the market, and soon to be more hitting on the market, that we're waiting till after the holidays to time it better. There's going to be a lot of new homes that are still building that have fallouts from the previous, that people can't, whatever, people falling out, standing inventory to build from. So builders and sellers are going to be still negotiable for the next 3 to 6 months, and still willing to make this a buyer's market and make it a happy one and help you get the deal of the century. You have more to choose from in terms of options, whether it be new home or even resale. You have the ability to work with a seller who's going to probably buy down your rate or give you closing costs, or do both, or do that with a builder. And you have the ability to take your time and make a sound decision. I think that's going to be other than price and all the other stuff, the most obvious, the biggest stark contrast between January, February, March, April, May, June of last year and this coming year is that you'll actually be able to take a breath and think about it before you make a decision.
And fall in love.
Like,
it's
with
no
that
more
home.
falling in like, it's falling in love with it, right?
And it's so important to me. This is the largest purchase of anybody's life for the most part, unless you're buying some, Ben Affleck engagement ring, which, hey, Ben, let me know when it doesn't work. But, unless you're doing something of that nature, this is the largest purchase of your life. We want to make sure that you have the opportunity to think about it, to not feel the pressure. And we want to get you a freaking deal. I love the idea that we get to now say, let's get you a deal. Let's work you a deal. That's what we do best.
It's so fun. I mean, it's fun to be able to see. I just had one client that closed just recently, and her appraisal came in $35,000 lower than what she bought that house.
God.
And her appraisal came in $35,000 higher.
Oh, higher. Oh, God. I was like, oh,
it was higher, and she was buying the house. I'm like, dude, what are you questioning? This is the deal that you're getting. I don't even know what the listing agent was thinking, but they clearly wanted to just sell the house fast.
And that's what you're going to see.
It's so fun to actually be able to see people get a deal and get excited with them, because we haven't this is the biggest buyer's market we've seen in a long time. I'm trying to even think about the last time I've been able to see. Not ever, because
because you've been doing this longer than me.
Yeah, but it was before it's been definitely like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. So there's that. I'm almost at 10 years, but not there yet.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the prediction is, if you're thinking about moving to Vegas, if you've been dreaming about investing or buying a second home or trying to do Airbnb or trying to consider having a vacation home that you then rent out, for months at a time to a traveling nurse or whatever that looks like, right? Whatever you've been considering when it comes to moving to Vegas, relocating to Vegas, or if you're already here, now is the freaking time. And if I couldn't yell it louder, I would. Now's the time. Do it now. Yes. Get yourself a deal. We have seen, let's talk about some of our success stories.
Okay.
So even in the worst of it, we were screaming this from the top of our, rooftops. And there were some of you that believed us. Thank you for believing us. Thank you for trusting us, because we were able to get some crazy miracle deals happen, right? Credit. Let's talk about credit problems and what you've been able to pull off in a miracle in the last 2 months. Didn't you have a couple of people that had like miracles happen at the last minute?
Yeah, like I just took a client. We're just closing him right today. But I just took a client recently. They couldn't get done with any builders, anything like that.
They could not be approved because either their credit or their income or something just didn't work, right?
Yeah, it was the credit. It was the credit that we were having a hard time with. They couldn't get it done, so it was sent to me by your team.
Oh, right? Well, look at that.
And we
know you're a fixer. You're Olivia Pope. You know that, right?
We were able to get through. I mean, there's many different. It wasn't an easy one. I'm not going to lie.
She got a few gray hairs.
It's probably one of the hardest ones I've done in a long time. But we were able to get through the credit problems. We were able to get through. In fact, he started FHA. We were able to get him over to a conventional because his credit was able to go up that high. So
that saves him some money on the payment.
It saved him money on payment. We were able to negotiate a lot of other different things with the builder, because sometimes right now, if you run into problems, I hate to say this out loud, but in the transaction, I was able to say, the only way to make this work is if you pay this much more. And the builders were like, didn't even hesitate.
Done. Done. We want this.
We're writing an addendum right now for you, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're closing this person today, and he walked through the door being told no from every other financial institution that he had tried to get approved from. So that's one miracle.
Yeah.
Another couple of other miracles have been, we had clients who lost their job in the middle of the process, who were able to get a new job, get reemployed.
Many of those,
sadly, but we're able to get reemployed, get this going. And because of her ability to work the system and to understand the nuances of what goes on, she was still able to. That's like the thing that will kill a deal. You lose a job in the middle of a transaction, you're done. You don't get them out of the house. It doesn't always work, but you were able to do it, right?
Oh yeah, and sometimes it's a matter of you losing hope, but you can tell we're not people where you're going to want to lose hope.
Yeah, we're
going to say, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to do, here's what you need. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. There's always a way.
Another miracle, I'd already mentioned the one earlier where we had a client who was buying a house that just the appraisal came back today, $10,000 higher.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We negotiated a really good rate, and we also, or not rate, but a payment, or not payment, price. I can't think of the word. Yeah. The other thing, we had a client last year who had to get out of the game. Just had to get out of the game. They just couldn't afford it anymore. Didn't have any mattress money. Had barely enough money, if any, to walk through the door. They came back online, and we said, "Now's the time to buy." We promised, "Now's the time to buy." They were hurt by the process of they were falling in love with home after home after home. We got them back online. Not only were they buying some of the style homes that they were falling in love with last year, but they're paying something close to $50,000 less than what they would have paid a year ago. Okay, $50,000 less, and that's because a lot of people were coming out of pocket and bidding above.
Not only that, you guys got them a huge amount of closing costs that bought down the rate.
The rate bought down, so now their payment went down, and closing costs paid, and repairs done. So not only are they getting the house for way less, not only are they getting their rate bought down, not only are they walking into a turnkey home that's had all the repairs done, so they don't have anything to fix when they walk in. That leaky toilet's going to be fixed before they walk through the door. They are now a homeowner. Whereas a year ago, they were crying themselves to sleep because they didn't think they could do it. Now is the freaking time to buy or invest or consider it or start the conversation. Even if you don't make it happen this next 6 months, start the conversation. Get in our ear, get in our system so that we can stay in tune with you, so that when it is the right time for you, we'll let you know if it's the right time to strike, or we'll tell you to time it and tweak it and make it the right thing to work when that time works for you. Am I right?
Yes, the biggest buyer's market that I've seen. I think
I've seen ever.
I started thinking
years.
about this, and no, not even 2012. I don't know if people were getting the incentives that they are right now. I think it was 2011. So I think it's been 11 years since we've seen a buyer's market like this, where builders are paying 5 to 6% in closing costs.
Oh, God.
When you're getting
so
a lot,
money.
when you're getting, and not only that, if you got to ask for this, ask for that, go negotiate with them.
Yes.
The deals that I'm seeing right now come through are amazing. It's so fun.
And we work closely. We're experts on new homes as well as resale. So it does not matter what kind of home. We also do commercial, but it does not matter what kind of home or building or whatever you're trying to purchase. If you're trying to put your money and invest it in Las Vegas or fulfill that dream of home ownership finally for once and for all, please, for the love of Christ, click the link in the description below. Let's talk to you today. Even if you're not planning to move for 10 years, I don't care. I want to be your friend.
Get you on your game plan.
Let's go. I want to be your friend. Let's freaking go. So that's our prediction for 2023. Did you think we were going to say anything else? I didn't think so. We are ready to answer some of your questions. Super grateful for those of you that have stuck around for this entire time and that have dealt with my sporadicness. I purposely didn't wear eye makeup because I didn't want to cry, because I had a feeling I was going to talk about like how much this last year has meant to me and how I'm so happy to be alive. So I purposely am not wearing eye makeup. Now I'm like, I got to find a reason to cry because now I look like an asshole. Let's jump into the questions here really quickly. If you are joining us on any platform, you can comment below the video or on the video, and it should show us your question right here. We're going to do ask.
Honestly, I don't think you should cry, Lacey. I think it should be a hip hooray.
I think
we should all pat ourselves on the back for making it through this year.
I'm
the biggest roller coaster ride. Look at that.
I'm elated. Listen, for me to even be alive this year is a freaking miracle. So there's that on top of the fact that I get to sit next to you. So every single week we get to speak to these beautiful audience. I'm living my best goddamn Las Vegas life. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody with my language. I don't care. I'm living my best Las Vegas life, and you should be too. Let's do this. Okay.
Love it.
All right, let's jump into these questions. Hey, Ariana, thank you for tuning in early. Sorry for starting a little bit late. Let's see. Look at this. Jake Gallen says, we love Las Vegas gals. We love you too, Jake. Thanks for always tuning in.
Such a good support.
Let's see. Paul Carl Lucas says, today's broadcast is sponsored by Southwest. Yeah, we definitely showed up a few minutes late, but not as late as Southwest has. Sammy Bowen, good to see you, babe. Happy holidays. Hope to see you soon. Las Vegas Guys 101 is saying, are there good jobs here in Las Vegas?
Of course.
Yes.
You know what I'm impressed with is how the Strip is not afraid.
Oh man, we're still building.
They're building
billions of dollars.
Yeah, billions of dollars on the Strip. So yes, there's jobs in Las Vegas.
Not only are there hospitality jobs, we have a lot of really awesome new industries moving to Las Vegas. So I would highly recommend. I'm actually going to be doing a video about jobs here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Stay tuned, and cost of living. So stay tuned for that. But yes is the answer to your question, and I would do some research on the types of jobs because there's a lot more than just hospitality. Thank the Lord. All right. Trevor says, is it hard to buy a home if you plan to move to Las Vegas? Trevor, thank you for tuning in. No, especially when you work with our team. We are relocation experts. 95 to 98% of our clientele, we have a big team of agents, is people like you who want to move to Las Vegas. Give us a call today. Click the link in the description. We'll call you. We'll set it up. We'll answer your questions. We want to give this a personalized approach, but the blanket answer is it is absolutely not difficult. In fact, the better thing to do is to buy before you get here so you're not wasting money on rent and deposits and all the bullshit about moving twice, 3 times, whatever it's going to take. We do a really special experience for our clients where we educate you about the city. We drive you around. We let you know what type of lifestyle you're going to get in any pocket that we can provide to you. We look at what your lifestyle looks like, and we really try to tailor our experience to you. If you want to work with me, want to work with Amber, want to work with us, let's do it. But the first step is clicking the link in the description. So please do that. Trevor would love to chat with you.
Trevor, excited to hear from you.
He also said Happy New Year. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year.
You.
All right. Any changes to the rental market, Oscar said.
Oh, is there any changes? I don't know about that. I don't watch it too closely.
I haven't seen a lot of changes in the rental market. I have seen a few more homes hit the market, so there's a little bit more inventory. But the prices are still sticky. They're still high. And that's another big reason why we didn't even talk about that in our recap, why we really want to push you guys to please consider buying and getting out of the rental cycle. We promise you it will be a better deal in the end, obviously for your financial freedom. But beyond that, you're probably going to pay less to buy a house anyway, especially if we get that rate bought down. So it could save you money. And I think, let me just touch on this.
Like rates go up year to year. When you're in a house, you're steady. So you know you're not going to go up. But then also you take the chance of rates dropping so that you can refinance into a lower payment.
Yeah,
so
and rent goes up every year.
Every year, guaranteed.
Every year. Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to just take a moment to say is you don't have to have $1 billion in the bank or a bunch of mattress money or a bunch of savings or perfect credit to buy a home. If anything, I think we've proven in our friendship and in our ability to our clients is that we always bring hope. We don't take no for an answer. She's like a dog with a bone. Don't give this girl a bone. But beyond that, no credit problem is too big. We will figure it out. There's always a yes. There's always a yes in the room. So don't think like
this is a judge-free zone.
It's judge-free zone.
Like,
we don't judge you.
Don't worry about your credit. Let's just figure out how to get you on the right path.
Yes. Ariana says, my husband makes good money on his own. However, his residency status is currently being worked on. Is he able to qualify for a home loan with no down payment? Currently paying $2,000, renting a 1-bedroom in Summerlin. Oh, Ariana. Oh, that broke my heart.
I know. You poor thing.
Oh,
Let's
man,
get you out of that
like
rental for a 1-bedroom, dang it.
What about residency status?
Residency, okay, so it depends on what his residency is. Like there's DACA loans. And there's loans
I forgot about the DACA loan.
Yeah, and there's loans that you could do too if you're I'm drawing a blank right now on if you're filing taxes on a tax identification with the tax ID number.
TIN number, yeah.
TIN number, yeah. I-10. There are I-10 loans as well.
Awesome.
And then if you're working on your residency status, let's just talk about it so we can see where you're at.
Yeah.
What kind of documentation you have and see if we can find a loan for you.
Ariana, if we don't hear from you, like literally today, if you don't click that link in the description today, we're going to have a problem. Okay. Honestly, the reason I say is you have a unique situation. It's not too big. It's not an issue at all. Especially your husband makes good money. You've already got a major plus right there. Let's get you out of that freaking rental, girl. I will take you to celebrate too. What are you doing in summer? We're sitting in Summerlin right now.
We are in Summerlin.
We would love to chat with you. Amber's going to be able to really give you a detailed description. Just click the link. You'll talk to our team. We'll answer a few questions, and then we'll get you right over this beautiful, gorgeous, redheaded beauty. I just realized I left your holiday gift in my car, and I so realized I should have had it. Oh my God, I just realized that I should have brought it because it would have been really good for today. It would have been really good today. can I get SSI money? Can I buy or rent? SSI is Social Security income.
SSI is income. So any money that you make, we count as income, and we qualify you based off of a debt ratio that has to do with your income, your bills that you have, plus the new housing payment divided by your income.
Yes.
Social Security income, if you're on that alone, a lot of times we can gross it up 25% if you don't pay any taxes, and if that's the only income you have, you don't usually pay taxes on it. So
gosh, she's a wizard. She's a wizard. So if you receive SSI, you are not out of the game, especially with those condo prices. And
you know what?
Like
and
that's
crazy because a lot of people that are on Social Security think that you can't get a loan. That's absolutely not true.
We should do a video about that.
Hello? Yeah, I've heard that question so many times, and I'm like, of course,
qualify. You can qualify, and our housing price might be mid 400s, but our condos and townhomes prices are much lower. So that's an opportunity for you to be a home owner. It doesn't matter if you have 4 walls or you have a yard or whatever. It's yours, right?
Or manufactured homes too. Those are making a comeback.
Those are making a comeback. This is a really great question. Bendo88 says, are we still seeing new builders making deals on their standing inventory? Bendo88, the only way that's going to happen for you is if you click the link in the description and talk to us. The answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. We were talking about it earlier. New home builders are laying out money hand over fist. They've got too much inventory. Their homes aren't moving, the ones that are building. Keep in mind, they don't get paid until that home is finished and built either. So they need to keep that money churning through every single month to pay their bills also. So hells to the yes. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you work with our team. Well, you can do it with anyway, but working with our team is going to get you a better deal because we know the builders. We're experts on the builders, and they love working with us.
But you guys are negotiation
we are bold
masters, though. So I've seen people go into the same builder without an agent.
Yep.
And I've seen people go into the same builder with your team. Completely different experience, completely different numbers. So you definitely want to have the negotiators with you.
We like to party and negotiate the shit out of your deal. So do not work with another agent. Do not walk into that builder on your own. Please, for the love of criminy, click the link in the description and call us. Okay. We better get a bunch of phone calls from today because this is good information. These are amazing questions, you guys. Alan is asking, who are the majority of the sellers, investors or homeowners? Do you know the answer?
You know what? I've heard that 1 out of 6 purchases are investors.
Look at that.
So most of them are home buyers, but still, that's a big number. 1 out of 6 are investors.
For buyers, right? So out of sellers, people who are buying or sellers, out of sellers, a lot of homeowners are selling right now for whatever reason. They want to cash out finally. They're afraid the market's going to crash, whatever their fear is, or sometimes they're just relocating, they're downsizing, whatever that looks like. A lot of people who are investors, or a lot of people became investors by accident when they realized they could charge what they can charge for rent right now.
And
that they had an incredible rate from the previous time that they purchased their home. So why would they sell it? So a lot of homeowners actually have either converted into investors and are renting their homes out. They've cashed out some equity and they're now trying to buy something else, or they just have to sell for whatever reason. I'm not seeing a lot of investors sell right now. Why the F would they sell now?
I mean, honestly, if you take your money, then put it into the stock market. Right. Like they're making more money on rent.
And everybody needs a place to live. And everybody needs a place to live. So, right?
Exactly.
Home and housing needs are never going to go away. That's the one thing. And they're not making a lot more land, right? Last time I looked, the earth was complete. In fact, most of it's going underwater.
That's a good point right there.
Icebergs right ahead. The icebergs are melting and a lot of the land is actually disappearing. So, and apparently California is going to break off into the ocean at some point in time. So,
growing up in Las Vegas,
we always heard that.
We've always heard, don't worry, at some point it's going to be beachfront property when California falls into the ocean. You grew up with that too, right?
Hell yeah, I did. Right. So buy your beachfront property today, give it about 30 years, we'll see what happens, right? Alan also asked, would it be a better deal to buy new or used? It really is going to depend on the home. And I hate saying that because I would love to just give you a straight answer. We love negotiating new, but sometimes new isn't what you need. And you also still have to put money into new homes when you buy them. You have to usually put blinds in, depending on the builder. If you want to put a pool in, you have to put a yard in within a certain amount of time just to keep within the HOA rules. So that's money out of pocket buying new that you may not have planned on doing. When you buy a used home, or I hate saying used home, when you buy a resale home, someone paid for that pool and you're not paying for it. It's not going into the house price. I'll tell you that right now. Someone already put the landscaping in. Someone's already put the blinds in. So
sometimes you can get more land.
Sometimes you can get a lot. You can always get more land. Actually, that's always the answer when it comes to new versus resale. So really depends. I'm a big believer in let's figure out what your goals are and what gets you pumped. Like when your eyes light up looking at model homes, we got to look at model homes.
That's what you need to do. Yeah.
And when your eyes light up looking at a house with a pool, we better be looking at resale, right? So it just depends on what you need. But really, really good question. Brent says 5 is definitely the new 3. Thank you, Brent. Brent Thomas. I think that's our Brent Thomas. Is that our Brent Thomas? I think it is.
I think so.
He's one of our best agents on the team too. He's got an Australian accent, ladies, if you want to see, and he's kind of a hottie. So just let me know if you want to work with him.
Just as a point on the Australian accent, like when he goes to negotiate, he gets whatever he wants.
Yeah, because I will give him whatever he wants too. I mean,
it is that cute Australian accent. No worries.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Yeah, but I can't do it the same way he does. But he gets whatever he wants with his Australian accent. So you want him on your side.
Okay. So Oscar said, this is a good point. Got a 4.6 pay increase, but inflation is 10%. That's true. That's accurate. Guess what? We're hoping it's going to come down. We're really thinking that things are going to cool off. We're praying, right? All right. Trevor says, besides a pool and a jacuzzi in the backyard, I'd like my home to have a good sized kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. Well, that's nice. And a good sized tub so my wife can relax after a long day. Well, thanks, Trevor. That sounds
Trevor,
awesome.
Let's get you in your house.
I'm pretty sure we can make that happen for you. Let's see. 2023 is going to be a challenging year, says William. We agree. We know it is. Listen, 2020, I don't know if anything can be 2022. And honestly, let's talk about the pandemic year, 2020 and 2021. Like, let's go there,
right? The 2020s have just been rough.
2020s are just a hot mess, right? But we always want to look at the positive, right? Yeah. You and I are big. We believe in hope. We believe in inspiring hope. We want to make sure that you understand that it is still possible. And we want to show you the silver lining in all of this is if you do want to make this happen, you want to take a little bit of a fun risk and start the party and see if this works for you, let's do it and see what happens. We think we can get you a freaking slamming deal next year for sure.
Love it.
Bendo says every year with current admin will be a challenging year. Probably the case with any admin, honestly. The administration in Washington, no matter who's in charge, there's always something going on, up or down. So no politics, in my opinion, because they're all politics. All politicians are the same. Doesn't matter who you vote for, what they believe in, they're all the damn same. And it's all going to be on our shoulders to deal with at the end of the day, right? So doesn't matter who it is.
In 20 years, we'll be paying for it.
Paul Carl, is Vegas back to pre-COVID showing rules where I can just go to open houses myself and not bother you or Steve? Hey, Paul, thank you for working with our team, first of all. Love Steve. He's freaking hilarious and one of our best agents. Pre-COVID, so we really don't, you're actually not allowed to go look at homes, but without us, it's actually to get into the home, you have to have a license and have gone through all the testing and things like that. If you're asking about some of those self-serve homes, like what were they? Open Door was one of them, and Purple Door or Purple Bricks. I do think some of those are still operating. I don't know that there's as many. Purple Bricks was an actual housing company at one point. But we want you to bother us, Paul. We really do. When it comes to new homes, as long as we know that and we get you registered with the builder, you can go as many times as you want, but we have to go with you on that first visit. And you can go back as many times as you want. But for resale homes, we really want to be there with you because we have an eye for this that you may not have, right? We may go, you may not have noticed this, but there's a leak in the kitchen. So we got to make sure that's addressed if you want to buy this house. Or, oh, there's a creaky door. We want to make sure we bring that up to the inspector. So we actually have to be with you. It is the law, sadly. And frankly, if you think about it, why would people let strangers in their home without someone who's a professional accompanying them, right? Yeah. But if you're asking about Open Door, I do think some of those are actually still operating. So I hope that answered your question. Let's see. Trevor's asking, do you and Amber have any plans on how you're ringing in 2023? Thank you, Trevor. What are you doing?
I haven't made any plans yet. I know you probably have,
I'm hosting a little shindig at my place if you want to come. Yeah. I do have one of the, well, you kind of have a badass view too. So I can't really outdo your view. We both have really beautiful city/strip views. I bet the fireworks are amazing from your place.
They are.
Oh my God, because you're right in the middle.
Don't they have fireworks right off of Stratosphere right there too, though?
Yeah, girl. I have the best.
So I miss the Stratosphere. I get the rest of them.
Oh, so she gets, so depending on who wants to host, you should be hosting. I'm going to bring all my party to your house because you get the rest of the strip. But I'm going to be hosting a small shindig. I have a beautiful view. Thank goodness.
I live in a high-rise view.
Why would I not enjoy the view? Small shindig at my place. You and your family are welcome to come.
Oh, thank you.
What are you doing? You don't know yet?
Now
you know. She's coming to my place.
Yeah. This is going to sound boring, but on January 1st every year, I always put together my vision board.
So she needs to be well rested. I think I interrupted that 2 years ago. I think
you did.
I'm so sorry.
No. I still got it all together and stuff. But yeah, I don't have any. I mean, other than watching the fireworks.
I'm hosting a shindig, and I'm gonna have. I should
go to Lacey's house with the shindig.
You should please come to my house. All right. William says, is it still a seller's market if the buyer does not have sustainable income? So the market doesn't depend on you as the buyer. The market is the market. I think that's a really important separation to make. Great question, William. So sustainable income is definitely going to be an important part of buying a home and getting a loan. But
yeah, so that's about getting you pre-qualified. Yeah. So before we send you out looking for a house, we're going to calculate your income, see what it all looks like, and then we're going to send you out looking at houses based on what you qualify for, depending on the income that we can use for the loan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So honestly, the best step, click the link in the description. This is a judge-free zone. We don't care what you do for a living as long as it's legal. I mean, and just tell us the stories about the illegal ways, right? I just want to learn. Right? We don't care what you do for a living. We don't care how you make your money or even how much money you make. We don't care what your credit looks like. We don't care how much savings you do or don't have. We don't care. This is judge-free. We want to talk to you about your specific situation because everyone has nuances. And this girl can probably make it work, right? I love it. This one's a great one. DLVTT, hello, my friend. Good to see you. Are there more single-family homes in Vegas for sale now compared to 6 months ago? Absolutely.
That's the beauty of this market.
That's the best part of what happened in this last year is 6 months ago, we had less than half of what we have on the market now. We are almost at 5 months of inventory. And it'll probably keep creeping up. We want it to be about 6 months to be a healthy place. Above 7 or 8 months is going to put us into too many houses, that kind of thing. So we really want to stay in that middle zone. The next 6 months is going to be the most opportune time for you to take advantage of these extra homes that are on the market. Good freaking questions. William, housing prices in Vegas are still in price adjustments. Yes. Great. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay, let's do it.
So I know all of you think that, you don't need to call us and you can go do all your own research on Zillow and on, realtor.com. And that's awesome. I love those websites for a lot of reasons, mainly because most of the time they paint a certain picture that I'm able to actually make you feel better about when you talk to me. Right.
Yeah. They do paint a dim and grim picture.
It's bad. Housing prices are absolutely being adjusted, right? A lot of the homes listed on the market listed months ago when we weren't sure what was going on with the market and they were trying to get in and get out, right? Now they've been on the market for a minute, they're sitting. What's the only thing you can do to get someone to look at your home? Lower the price, right? That's it. That's all people have the art. Do a little more marketing and lower the price. That's all realtors know how to do these days right now. And do an open house maybe. So for right now, when you're looking at Zillow and all these things and you're seeing, the market's crashing, I'm going to wait until somebody the other day said they're going to wait till houses are $40,000. So they can buy. I'm like,
are you serious?
That's not where we're going. Yeah. I'm like, then you're an idiot. And I don't want to work with you because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's crazy.
Values are not dropping. Prices are. So what happens though is after prices come down a little, we negotiate these amazing deals for you. Then the new evaluation of the homes come out. Yeah, the values will start to creep down as well. But the crash is not happening, guys.
If we were in a crash, we would already see it. Yeah. And when you see high rents, you're not going to see house prices do a whole lot. I mean, we're correcting, and that's what the Fed said that they were going to do. Remember, they're controlling it all with the we don't
want crazy high prices in Vegas. We want this to be affordable.
We in 2 years, I think I was reading like nationally, not just Vegas, and Vegas went higher. Yeah. We gained 39% in equity.
Yep.
That's crazy. And a healthy market is 5% a year.
Yeah.
But just in that small time, we gained 39%.
I don't want to be LA. I want people to be able to afford to live here.
I know. Right? We want to be in a place where it's healthy.
And we're there. We're getting there. We're there, and we're easing it even further.
2022 was the year of bringing in the balance, right?
That's not for me. Anyway, Robert Bowen says, are there a lot of places with mother-in-law apartments or pool houses available? Yes, absolutely. In fact, we have one builder that we work with who has quite a few of those models that are designed with the built-in casita apartment or the separated casita, which is amazing. They're all over town too. They're not just in one concentrated area. And that's one of the builders that we have such a good relationship with that we're able to not only negotiate price, but they also include a lot of the stuff that you have to put money out for when you move in, blinds and some of the stuff that like most people just don't have money for.
So it's one of the builders that
it's like all inclusive sort of. Yeah. So please, if you're looking at new homes, please call us. And then from a resale perspective, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of resale homes that, let's see. Summerlin has quite a few. Anthem has a lot, Henderson, and then some in the Northwest that have a ton of these homes that have these separated buildings that you could treat as a yoga studio or an office or a content creation place or a mother-in-law
suite. The Northwest has all the big land too. Oh, and Spring Valley
too, Spring Valley. Right? They're everywhere.
Yeah, so you can go anywhere.
Absolutely. Okay, the housing market. Oops, I got my computer's making noise. Lags the automobile market in terms of cost. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm going to move on to the next one. Oh, Angie says, wear waterproof eye makeup. Girl, waterproof eye makeup makes my eyes swell. Okay, I think I'm allergic to it or something. So sorry, you have to look at me like this today and get over it.
You look cute.
Thanks. Sammy says, I was thinking of your videos from a year ago to now, and you really are living your best Las Vegas life. Absolutely right. You know what's funny
Sammy's
is
such a good fan.
I love Sammy. I really want to meet you, girl. Yeah. You want to come to my house for New Year's Eve? We were supposed to have drinks, so I'm really. This would not be the first time.
That's a great time to have drinks.
This would not be the first time that I've invited strangers from YouTube to my home. It's probably not safe. I have a guard, and I have a guard at the front door though. So yeah. All right. Let's see. C Pimpin 100. First of all, love your name, C Pimpin.
Yeah, that's not
Any truth to the rumor that Stations is building a casino in Sky Canyon in the very near future? Property values change? If so,
what's you know that? I haven't heard anything.
I heard that they purchased some land.
Oh,
I did hear that. I used to be a director of marketing at Station Casino, so I have lots of friends that still work there.
That's a great question to ask her then.
So I will not confirm or deny what I know, but I do know that Stations is building Durango Station in the Southwest, and that they are known for doing things in 2s and 3s. So just be prepared. I don't think it'll happen overnight, but I just please know that investment is still happening in the city all over.
It is amazing how much the city, they're not stopping, they're not pulling back, which tells me something.
There's no stopping love, no stopping. See, Pimpin knows that song. I know he does. Okay. So Stations is a maybe, and even if it's not now, they've owned the land for Durango Station that they're building on currently. They're going to be opening soon for as long as I've worked
right
there.
Off of like Sunset and
right off of 215 in South Summerlin, right by IKEA. It's one of the most concentrated area for millennials who live in the city. It's also one of the biggest foodie areas of the city, Southwest. As far as Sky Canyon, I don't know that a Station Casinos resort will increase home prices at all, values. I do know that it does bring value over time, right? Because it's one more hub of the city that's now fulfilled with all the things that it brings. So great question. Yes, they're probably going to be building more in Las Vegas. I cannot confirm or deny if that area that they purchased is for that. And I also can say that, let's get Durango Station out of the way first, and then we'll see if we can talk about some rumors. Best person to listen to for any rumors about developments in Las Vegas or news is my very good friend Scott Robin, who runs the Vital Vegas podcast and also Vital Vegas blog. He's huge on Twitter. He's quoted all the time. He knows it before anybody else. I'm telling you, Vital Vegas. Follow my friend Vital Vegas. Great question, C Pimpin. Let's see. Are we gonna run out of water? Who loves ya, baby? The furniture store. That's who. Do you remember that? Who loves ya, baby? The furniture store.
That was like an 80s one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Las Vegas local commercial. There's a little local trivia for you. No, we're not going to run out of water. I don't want to go into the water discussion because it does take up so much time. Please look up, lots of YouTubers out there are doing updates. Jacob's Life in Vegas has done a really great interview with the Water Authority. But they've got lots and lots of plans for us sustained water.
Yeah. I have to check out Jacob's Life.
What's the employment duration to qualify for a loan, asks Sammy.
Okay, so when you were talking about employment, a lot of times people think if they switch jobs, then they have to wait 2 years.
Not the case.
That's not the case. So you have to have 2 years on in the line of work. So let's say you went to school for 4 years to be a nurse, and now you just graduated school, and now you have your first job as a nurse. That 4 years that you went to school counts as time on the job, right? Because you were being educated for your current career.
Right.
Or let's say you moved from out of state and you were a teacher out of state. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know why I'm going to nurses and teachers, but you were like a teacher out of state, and then you're just moving here to Las Vegas. The time that you've been a teacher counts for that 2 years. It doesn't have to be on the same job.
So let me ask the reverse one that's not maybe a positive outcome. Okay. If I worked at a nightclub as a server, and now I am a crypto person, I'll do my friend Jake. Now I'm an NFT crypto investor, and I'm also somebody who I'm an advisor, like a freelancer advisor for a company that I'm getting a regular paycheck for. Because I've been doing crypto investing for 2 years, does the investing timeline work for me, or do I have to be in this consulting gig type of job for 2 years before I can qualify?
Well, the crypto investing, was it a self-employed job or then that counts.
Oh.
If it was self-employed job, we can prove it with tax returns.
On the money that you made from your
trading into crypto, like you had a Schedule C business, right? That was a crypto business or whatever, and now an advisor, right?
Now still, I think same business, but being paid by others to advise. I was trying to come up with a weird one. So
yeah. So as long as that is a
anything with crypto is weird.
Good job right there. So as long as the business, like the new business that he's involved in or whatever, as long as it has to do with like
same thing,
he's W-2'd and his income is straight, then he's okay. If it's like a 1099 job and it switch, then that's when you have to have tax returns.
Okay.
But if you go from like being self-employed to then being W-2, and it's, you were self-employed doing it on your own or whatever, but you have tax returns to prove it, and now you're W-2, then we can count the W-2 income.
But if you were self-employed and are still self-employed, that history still ties.
Then we look at your tax returns for it.
Look at that. Okay, so there is a yes at the end of that one. Let's see. That was a great question, Sammy. Gregory says, I want to move, but the whole thing seems so daunting. Selling in Louisiana, then moving. Of course, there's finding a job. It's like, where do you start? Gregory, I love you for saying that.
Yeah, and thanks for being so vulnerable
and transparent. We deal with your type of situation every single day, and I can gleefully say that we've helped people overcome that overwhelm, right?
One step at a time.
One step at a time. So the easiest thing to do is let's start with the conversation, right? We won't have to go, okay, let's get you qualified today. That's not how we work. Let's answer your questions. Let's talk about, okay, what's your house looking like? Do you have to make updates and repairs? Do you have a realtor in Louisiana? Can we recommend somebody that we know so we can work hand in hand with them on both sides, from the beginning of even you listing your home all the way through to you picking up the keys from your home here? Finding a job, totally get it. That's a whole nother ballgame. But don't try to handle it all at once. It's one bite at a time. It's a big elephant. And we're really, really good at eating elephants. So call us, right? Let us talk about it. Have a conversation with us. Have a conversation with Amber.
Yes.
Let's really
help
just
you one step at a time.
Yeah.
We'll help you to say, okay, do this next. So that way it's not overwhelming.
Yeah. All right. This is a good question. I'm going to see if you can answer this. What's the difference between a condominium and a townhouse?
So the difference between a condominium and townhouse, the condominium, you own what's within the walls, but you don't own the land and you don't own the roof. So within the walls is what you own. Townhouse, you actually own the land that the house sits on.
Damn.
and the roof.
Did you go to real estate school? Look at this girl.
Well, I mean, it's different types of loans, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Different types of loans.
The loans and the zoning and things like that matter. All of that matters. Really good. Look, I'm very impressed. Look at you. Let's see. We've got another question about water supply. We already answered that. Oh, this is a good one. Ariana says, Ariana, I hope we hear from you, girl. You got some great questions.
You do.
Someone's serious about getting out of that one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
What's a good debt ratio number to qualify for a home loan?
So good debt ratio, and it depends on what type of loan you're doing. But
what's debt ratio? Let's tell people what that is first.
Your debt. So when you have credit cards, there's a minimum payment. You're going to add those up, plus car loans, anything that shows on your credit report, student loans, minimum payments, right? You're going to add all those up and then divide it by your income. So that's the debt ratio. So when we're looking for a debt ratio for a house, we're going to take the debt that's on your credit report, add it to what the house payment is, the new house payment is going to be, and then divide it by the income. The debt ratio that the banks are looking to stay under is 50%. Sometimes, depending on like your profile, they'll limit you to 45%, but then sometimes you can go up to 55%. And then on VA, I've seen them go up to like 60%. So it depends on the type of loan you're doing, and it depends on your credit profile, your assets and stuff like that. There's automated systems that we run for it.
See, she's amazing. So if you try to do that math yourself, don't. Okay, let her do it for you. Because I promise. First of all, she lost me when she started saying divide it by. I'm like, I failed math, so I definitely am not doing this. But I'm saying that because there's a lot of other factors that come into play, and I don't want you to do the math at home and then not make the phone call thinking, oh, I already did it and I'm 51%. I just can't buy a house. Please let us
work out your game plan too and figure out what it is. And sometimes people come in and say, well, I have this credit card, but I paid $500 on it, but your minimum payment's only $100. That's all we're going to count.
Right. So, see? So let's talk. Let's absolutely, girl, Ariana, we better hear from you, girl. We better hear from you. All right, let's see here. A couple more and then we're going to wrap it up.
These questions. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Woo Eats says, I'm on a VA loan right now. I know I have enough to use on a second one, but can it be an investment property? If not, can I use FHA on a second vacation home?
Great questions.
Really good question.
Yeah. So VA loans are specific to primary residence. So like if you have a VA loan right now and you still have eligibility left on your VA loan, so you didn't use all of it up for your first house, you can turn that house, depending on how long you've lived into it, but you can convert that house into a rental, then buy another house with the rest of your VA to live in. If you don't have enough on your VA, investment properties and second homes can't be used on FHA. Those are strictly primary resident houses.
But I have a feeling he's asking about the FHA because of the low down payment, right? The 3.5% required down payment, right?
But you have to live in those houses. Those are primary
my point in bringing that up is there are conventional loans, some conventional loans that have lower. A lot of people think you need 20% down.
Oh, no. So conventional loan, if you're using it as your primary loan, you can do as low as 3% down on those. But as a second home, it's a minimum of 10%.
Okay. So if the down payment was the issue or the concern, don't let it be. There might be another loan also that's, something that we didn't discover today. So let's talk. Absolutely. Woo Eats. If you don't reach out to us, I'm going to be upset. Click that link in the description. Okay. John L. Ooh, good one. Hey, y'all. Look at, you like that? You like that? Hey, John L. I have to do my Paula Deen. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Looking to buy my next property in Las Vegas, turning my current single family rental, what? In SFR, my tongue is not working today. What are you seeing in the thank you. Single family residence. My tongue is not working. Start over. Hey, y'all. Looking to buy my next property in Las Vegas, turning my current SFR into a rental. What are you seeing on the rental market in Las Vegas and the future outlook? John, the rental market in Las Vegas.
Give the John again. Do the John again.
John, let me tell you, John, the rental market in Vegas is at the highest it's ever been. It does feel a little bit like LA here right now with how much people are paying. Yeah. Ariana, our girl Ariana, has been talking to us throughout today's broadcast.
One bedroom.
$2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment in Summerlin, right? I currently am paying $2,100 for something downtown, which is much better than a 1-bedroom in Summerlin, but it's high. It's very, very, very high. I won't be renting for very much longer. Had some life transitions happen. I'll be buying this year myself, ladies and gentlemen.
2023 is the year.
Bringing it, starting over, baby. But with all that being said, rental market is on the rise. It's not going to be going down anytime soon. And even the feds are saying that, right? Even in the updates from the feds, they're saying housing is all over the place, but shelter is not going down anytime soon. Rent, they can. Why wouldn't they charge it if they can, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a supply and demand thing. There's still more people that don't have housing than there's housing available. Yeah. So that's why we know that we're not going to see a crash because there's a supply and demand issue. Yep. And those people that haven't gone to buy houses are renting.
They have to.
And that's what's keeping the rent so high.
So if you're looking at converting your home into a rental, I hope you have a great rate. I'm assuming you do. Be grateful for that great rate. We will run comps for you. We'll help you take a look at where your home is, what the other comps are. We're going to let you know exactly what you can charge for rent, and we'll help you get that thing listed for rent too if you want. So let us know how we can help you throughout the whole process. And I really hoped, John, that you're going to work with our team. So let us know.
Excited to hear from you, John.
All right. Are the next 3 months, Nancy, a good time for cash buyers as well? Nancy, girl, cash is always king. Cash is king. Cash is king.
Yes, and negotiate with that
She doesn't want to hear this because cash doesn't work.
No, honestly, whatever works for you, right?
But here's the thing I will say about cash. Amber has done some really tricky, cool stuff with some of these people that have called us to be cash buyers who now own 3 or 4 homes when they were only going to buy one with all that cash.
Leverage that cash.
Leverage that thing. So I don't know how much money you have in the bank. I would love to know so that we can figure out if it could work in your favor to become a owner of multiple rental homes, build that portfolio, and buy yourself a home as well, and let these pay for yours. So same outcome, right? Same outcome. I'm on it today, man. I'm on it. Let's go. All right, quick. Let's see here. What are the DACA loans? Angel says. Do you want to talk about DACA loans real quick?
So the DACA loans is the DACA visa. I'm gonna try to say this all right.
You're gonna beat me. So
I guess it's when people come here when you're a child, right?
Yes.
And then you're given a DACA visa.
Right.
But you don't have an actual Social Security that was given to you. You have that visa, right? You could do a loan with the DACA visa without having to be a U.S. citizen, and you're not you're not a U.S. citizen. You don't really have a permanent residence card,
right?
But you have a DACA visa.
Yeah.
So you're in the small category. There are loans like that for you.
Yeah. So
with minimal down payment.
Yeah. If you're someone who fits into that category, or you want to see if you're we don't know, right? And we obviously are U.S. citizens, and we haven't had to deal with a lot of that. In fact, did you hear that Stephanie on our team passed her citizenship?
She did. I didn't hear that.
But we do have people on the team who are experienced with a lot of that and who understand a little bit more about the nuances related to citizenship and the types of loans. She's an expert on the loans. So let's tie it together and see if you can work with someone on the team who matches up with what your vibe is and what you need, and also just check out these freaking loans. Take advantage of it. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Stephanie N says, I have equity in my house, but do not have positive income from my own business. How much positive income do I need to show on record to put equity from my current house, to pull equity from my current house to buy a new home? Oh, that's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one because it all has to do with what debts you have, how much you owe on your house. Like, because we have to look at those debt to income ratios, right? So we can always talk so I can look and see what you've had on your taxes before,
right,
and then see what's needed to be able to qualify you, because it's all going to depend on your situation individually and what's on your tax returns and your credit report.
Boom. Boom. See? Not all doom and gloom. Stephanie, click the link. Let's chat. We love you. We want to chat. We want to chat. We want to chat. Okay, let's say we have 2 more we're going to go with. Let's see. Kaiser Mooney says, does VA loan offer a 40-year mortgage?
They should. Not at this time. They have a 30-year. The highest they go is 30 years, but who knows what's in the future?
Hey, right? 2023 prediction. Will that happen?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Government moves pretty slowly, so probably not.
Oh yeah, they don't make too many changes on VA.
All right, C. Pippin is the last one we're gonna talk to today. Want to just, before we answer this question, say thank you. We love you. We are grateful for you. We're grateful for your views. I'm grateful for you.
Too.
I learn every time we do this. I learn something new.
And I do too.
Oh man!
The first time we actually did one of these, do you remember how I was like,
oh man! If you guys, we should go back and cut to that and show you are loose as a goose now. I'm so grateful.
Look at all that Lacey's taught me.
We're gonna answer this final question, but just wanted to remind you, if you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas, whether it be now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, I want to know about it. I want to be your friend. We want to start that conversation today. We firmly believe now till June, next 6 months, is the most juicy, crunchy opportunity to get a freaking deal as a buyer in Las Vegas. If you're thinking about investing, if you want to buy a vacation home, if you want to be an Airbnb person, if you want to look at buying a house just to have, I don't know, if you want to move here, we want to talk to you, whether it's a new home, whether it's a resale. This is our expertise. This is what we do for a freaking living. We're the best in the business, and I can confidently say that because I have
I love the confidence.
This chick right here next to me. We're so grateful for you. I am so grateful that 2022 is effing over, and I am looking forward to 2023.
I love your 2023 energy. Love it.
Over it. But I am so ready for 2023. I'm bringing the heat. I gained a little bit of weight back, so I'm bringing some of that too, and I'm jumping in head first.
She looks sexy hot.
No, I got my groove back. I definitely got my groove back this year, and my ass and some other assets. Okay, back to it. Steve Pimpin says, I'm hearing that you can get about $6,000 a month for a nice 4-bedroom, 4-bed, 3 in 89166 on a corporate business B&B, Airbnb. So if you're looking, I think he's referring to the person who's turning their home into a rental. Great, or I think he's the one who said he might be doing that. Great point. Yeah, you can.
Dang, I didn't realize you can get that much for it.
Corporate B2B type, Airbnbs. We're pushing those a lot. If you guys are interested in looking at Airbnb, watch my videos on my channel. There's tons of new rules. We're covering them all. We're giving you ideas on how to go about it, and we want you to work with us to buy the home because we sell homes for a living. Hello, this is what we do. We don't manage it. We sell them. So if you're looking at getting into Airbnb, that is what I'm seeing people get. Not just 89166, but if you're trying to rent out a 4-bedroom home, they're either doing them individually and doing them for long term, right? You don't even need to abide by Airbnb rules when it comes to like the licensing and stuff.
So like if you go 6 months,
if you go 30 days or longer, actually. 31 days, my friends, and longer.
And how many people move here and are looking for more long term but short term?
A lot of people need short term. They don't want to do it, whatever. And a lot of corporations are sending people here to work for short time. There's a lot of reasons. Travel,
like
nurses,
a corporate rental,
you name it, right? So corporate rental is a great way to go about it. We would love to help you with that. We've helped several of our clients make a lot of money, and we're stoked. So thanks for asking that question. Once again, Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year
to you too.
I would sing, but I don't know the Auld Lang Syne words. I just usually hum it. I hope to see you on New Year's at my house.
Well, I hope to be there.
We'll see you next week. Hungover. I will be, at least, from New Year's Eve.
Celebrate going into 2023 the right way.
Yes.
Right? Love
be safe. We love you. Please tune in. Please subscribe if you're watching. Please like the video so that our algorithm goes up. We want to grow next year, and we want to grow with you, and we want to see you learn how to live your best freaking Las Vegas life like we are. Mwah! We love you.
Love you guys.
See you soon.
Bye.
It's